Hello there, I'm Joanne Jolie. I am a conservatory-trained pianist and vocalist. I'm a composer and the co-founder and executive director of the Jolly Java Music Foundation.
And I'm Leticia Pestova. I'm a classically trained musician and fire breather with Reprieve. I'm also pursuing my PhD in forensic psychology.
And we're Sweet Reprieve, and it's so great to be here with you this evening.
Yes.
We wanted to talk a little bit about happiness, but really basically how we find our happiness.
Yes.
So we made some points, we had a discussion, and I think the first point I wanted to make really was that you can't be happy all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, happiness is a feeling. It comes and it goes, but I will say that there are so many opportunities that are around us all day long that we miss because we're not focused properly, we're not in tune with things that are going on that can make us happy. In our Declaration of Independence, what does it say? It says that we have the God-given right for the pursuit of happiness. Pursuit is the word. You have to go after it.
Mm-hmm.
And
some of the ways that we've done that is with music.
Yeah.
And little things. I've gotten questions from my fans before, why do I do the whip? This is it right here.
Yeah, they're like, what is it with this whip?
Well,
it follows her around everywhere she goes, is the whip.
It does, it makes me happy. All right, so,
It is a nice whip. I mean, I'm not going to argue with it, but I'd like to know more about what is it about the whip. Where did it come from?
Where did it come from? Well,
Did it come from New Zealand?
It did.
That made me happy. That made me really, really happy.
Poi, thank you so much.
Poise, that's right.
Poise,
The Maori
it's
poise.
It's called the wasp, and I use it on stage and our shows and stuff.
And it cracks really loudly.
I really wanted a creative outlet, and the things that I was doing, they weren't fulfilling enough. So I wanted to try something different. So I was literally watching YouTube videos and trying to incorporate something else with my fire breathing. And I saw this guy use a fire whip, and I just went, all right then. I need one. I need 5.
But that's you. I mean, everyone's different. I have to say that I have never been drawn to whips at all. We do pursue happiness wherever we can find it.
In our own ways.
So anyway, back to the next point. The key to unlocking happiness. This is the truth. You know what? We've got a real problem. This is serious. You guys want to get to know us. We can't stop laughing.
I do. I laugh. I giggle in the worst of situations. All my friends know me. I'm smiling. But
it's true. You have to be content. Seriously. This whip. It's the whip that's doing it.
I was going to be so serious about the whip, and it just went out the door.
That was a mistake.
It was a horrible mistake.
We're not going to bring the whip on set anymore.
We'll probably bring it on set again. But
we'll see. Anyway, no, seriously, you have to be content with your life where you are right now in your life. But that's the truth. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. You have to be happy with the way things are. But you don't. That doesn't mean you're going to stay in that place. You should always be looking to improve. If there are problems in your life that are causing you unhappiness, you have to make steps and plans to remove yourself from the situation. But at the same time, you have to say, today is fine. There is somebody way less
fortunate layers of the onion, that are no longer you kind of thing. So
So anyway, but just having that
creative outlets.
Well, that's the next thing is, every human being has value, created in the image of God. It's a fact. And we have to express ourselves. We have to get these things out that are important to us that we feel. And so you have to find a creative expression. And again, for us, it's music.
And it's always been there since childhood. Something that I realized when I grew up, I stopped doing the things I did as a child. I loved the rain, and I loved going outside. And
how about the birds?
Oh, the birds.
Can I tell the birds?
Yes, tell the birds.
How old are you? About 8, 9, 10? But you fell in love with birds, right? This is how it started. Mummy, can we have a finch? I'm mother. And yes, you may have a finch. Well, then Finch got lonely, and Finch needed a mate. So it's like, okay, all right, 2 finches. They're little, they don't make much noise. You may have another finch. And then, Mummy, I need this and I need that. I mean, eventually we ended up with these huge macaws. They're screaming all day long. But what made her happy was breeding. So she took these, were they cockatiels? Were they cockatiels?
The cockatiels.
Yes.
The doves and the
doves and the
finches,
cockatiels, and she would hand feed them. And so as they hatch, I got this on video, it's the most incredible thing. as these little things are hatching out of their eggs, she's taking them. These little, really, they're so ugly when they're born. And then she gives a dropper.
My children.
Yes, they're children.
But my babies that you're talking about.
And then hand feed them with the dropper, and then she became mother and tamed them and sold them to the local
Mother dragon.
pet shops. But you know, these things that bring you joy, and you love animals so much.
And
that's a creative expression.
Yes.
You can draw, you can, you know, build and create, just whatever. You've got to find a way to express yourself. So that's.
And don't be afraid to try new things, because this was scary, because the first couple times I did it, you know, you whip yourself in the face and it stings. You never forget being whipped by a bullwhip. But you have to try new things, because how do you know if you're going to love it and get it like a big dorky smile on your face as soon as you hear it crack?
You've got to try.
faster than
You
you
just
found
got to
it.
get out and try all kinds of different things until you hit something.
Yes.
And then another thing, I think this is really, really important, is charity. Okay, doing things for other people. You have no idea how, you know, in our society, it's become very self-centered and me-oriented. What can I do to make myself feel better? But if you don't know the value of getting out and doing something for people who are less fortunate for you. I had an incident just this last week. Did I tell you about this? I was
in the gas station.
No. It was in a store. I was in line. It was a long line. One cashier in this craft store, and there was a woman. She was checking out, and she had a big soda, right? And it fell on the ground, and it exploded everywhere. You remember I told you that? And she was really, really humiliated and embarrassed. And then everyone in the line is getting a little bit annoyed, having to wait, and she's cleaning up. So I stepped out of line, which is the weirdest thing. If you ever stood in a line and you don't want to kind of like break out, there's just something that works against you a little bit. Yeah, I don't even know what that is really. But so I stepped out and I got down on the ground and, you know, gave her a hand cleaning up, and she was so thankful. And she wasn't alone in this big mess that she had made that made her feel humiliated. And I'll tell you, I walked out of the store and I just felt really, really happy. And I just was watching myself, and I was kind of analyzing what had happened through that whole process. And, you know, we do have a music charity, and this is something that's very, very important, giving back through music. That music has blessed us so much. And so we provide a free music education to underprivileged children. And then we have music therapy classes too for underprivileged seniors who are suffering with like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease.
And back to you helping too.
Yeah.
You know, that's so important, just to give back, to be cognizant and vigilant enough to see the person who's distressed, who's maybe sitting there on their phone and slouched over in